it's Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another video on the Tool Teardown channel. So this is the Ozito, Australian brand, part of the Einhell Group brand, as we established as well last time. Power Exchange 18V outdoor paint spray gun is the official type name of this machine. So it works with batteries. Slot them in, and it's basically a cooling fan. So yeah, a lot of these things, they market them as airless spray guns, but what it actually does, and you can hear it and you can feel it, it's got a fan in here and it blows air out. So basically what it does, it creates an under pressure in the neck here, which basically sucks the paint out of the reservoir and comes out the nozzle. So yeah, let's go into the features. So obviously this comes without the battery, so you get the device like so, with a 1 litre paint container, which got the measuring gauge on here, 1000 ml as in 1 litre down to 200. That gives you a rough idea of, when you want to fill it up with a certain level of paint, how much to put in. So what else do you get? You get the little measuring cup device thing that basically is there to measure the viscosity of the paint that you want to use in the paint gun. So this paint gun is rated for a paint viscosity of DIN 50, as in this cup, when it's filled to the brim with paint. So you basically dunk it under into the bucket of paint, and then you time it from the moment till it's empty. Should be no more than 50 seconds, according to the little leaflet that also is part of the package. So that gives you like a quick guide of how to use it for people who've never used paint guns before. What's also included in the package is this little handy bag with some cleaning accessories, as in a little brush to clean out the nozzles and the tubes and things. I'll show you in a minute. A little pokey pin. Let's get it out of the bag, if we can get it out of the bag. So basically, if you have a nozzle, which I happen to have in here, and it's a bit blocked, you can use it to unblock it. Obviously it only works when it's disassembled, but these are one of the 3 nozzles, and you can basically just unblock it when the paint is dry, or when the time in between coats is a bit too long, so the paint in here starts to cure, and you want to use it again. Just quickly take it apart and use that. So it also comes with the 3 nozzles in 3 beautiful colours, starting at 1mm, and then we have a 1.8. Oh, actually, hold on, it's written on there. 1.5mm, 1.8mm, and 2.2mm. So basically the white one, smallest, medium and large. So yeah, this is basically the adjuster ring, which lives in here, which gives you the opening of the nozzle. So you can control it a little bit by the amount of paint that's coming out. So then this goes in there. So you can then basically, you can twist this whichever way you want. 360 degrees adjustability. And then this gives you that little control of amount of paint from little to a lot. So that's here, and then this is just a spare one because it's, I think they plan that goes kaput at some point, as in it's a bit flimsy, it's all a bit thin, wobbly plastic. And then oh, I forgot. Then it also comes with a nice toiletry bag, which is basically meant so if you've got your nice shiny battery on the device, whoa, you can put the little bag on it So pull it shut, and then any overspray, it keeps your battery clean basically. The container that holds the paint, very simple. I used it once on a white door, which is why there's some residues of paint. This is your pickup nozzle, which you can rotate depending on the angle you work at. So if you work a lot like this, as in you painting an object face down, then you want the pickup point to be at the front, because obviously if you hold the reservoir like so, then the paint will be in the front. You can twist it to the back if you're painting upwards, you know, or horizontal, then it doesn't really matter. But you tend to use it sort of facing down more than anything anyway. So that's that. It comes out, you can clean it. And you can see that basically that's the little breather, so that allows that this thing doesn't go vacuum on you. And then the pickup hose goes into the middle hole there, goes in there, comes out here, and then basically the surrounding area is where the fan blows its air through, which gives you that slight low pressure point here at this tube, which basically sucks the paint up from the container. That's how simple it is really. The trigger switch, which is adjustable by turning this knob, so you can basically turn it out and then you can press it. You can press it less or more. So very basic, a little bit flimsy, if I'm honest, but you know, if you occasionally, or you want to paint your fences and whatnot pretty, want to have a bit of a play, for $69 Australian dollars. I had a quick look on eBay because one of the viewers mentioned that they sell them in the UK as well. Yes, they did upon introduction back in 2016, but they're sort of slowly phasing it out again because they want to promote the Einhell brand in Europe instead. So the leftover stock, if you like, is still available, but this and the nail gun and stuff like that, newer devices, they don't offer anymore in the UK, which is on eBay. There's sellers that sell them for around £59 sterling, but you're looking at about £44 for shipping from Australia, because that's unfortunately where they mostly come from. Einhell is going to do one as well for this year, or at least it was so in their brochure. To clean, you have to be able to take the whole device apart, so you can. This is how it arrives in the box, in bits basically. And then all you can see is that this is your trigger switch, which basically just sits in that little opening there. Very simple, and then this little thing makes sure that it locks in place. So you push it down and you can twist it out to unlock it. Very simple. You push it and you twist it, it locks in place, stops this thing from falling out, and then you can use this to clean up. And you can see the little the inner workings of the device. So the air blows through here, out this side, and then the pickup point in the middle there is where then the paint gets sort of sucked out of the canister. Very simple, but very effective. Having a look at the markings, so this is PP with 30% glass fibre reinforcement, so this is a different type of plastic than we know from a lot of the products that we have a look at. So this is still has got a 30% glass fibre in it, but it's a polyprop, so it's yeah, I don't know, a slightly cheaper plastic, if you can call it that. Then in the process of showing you the device, we've more or less already taken it apart, because you find yourself taking this thing apart to this point quite a lot for cleaning. I mean, you can see this overspray still on here. There you go, this is the proper stuff. PA6 with 30% glass fibre reinforcement. So we had a look at all the individual parts in all its glory. We've got to mention that this is made out of HDP, which is just a blow mold, similar material to what the storage cases are made out of that you get with some of the tools that you buy. I mean, these things come in a cardboard box, which personally I prefer because I hate those tool cases because they just take up a lot of space and they break, and basically it's just fill up your garage with garbage. So let's have a look inside, shall we? Now this thing is held in with lots of Phillips screws, so I'm gonna expedite this process and we'll get back to you as soon as we've got them all out. Now, as you've seen with the nail gun, and I'll put the video thingy up there, it's a very similar looking device than some of the others that are out there on eBay and Amazon. Even the same color red with the same shape of the label. They're all made in China by one manufacturer of these tools, and then they get labeled up. Off-the-shelf unit, which you can also see looking at the tool, is the bottom bit of the tool is a black plastic, whereas the rest of it is all red. That's because obviously they have to make the battery aperture compatible with the Ozito and Einhell Power Exchange battery system, which is why the bottom half is different or unique. Some of the other brands, whatever names they got that are out there selling these, they got a different battery, which is why the bottom bit is a bit different. And these Chinese manufacturers of these tools, they quite cleverly can adapt that by having the same tool in the basics, but at the bottom they just make it slightly different. Right, what I forgot to mention is that at the back there is a little grill here with a little fastener. Whoopsie daisy. Holds a little filter element which you can exchange. So you can already see that I used white paint, and because you're spraying, there is a mist of white, which when this sucks in air from the back and blows it out the front here, you obviously have a tendency of sucking up some of that air containing paint residue, which is what you can see here, which matches these little holes here quite nicely. So it sucks up some of that paint. So after a few good goes, you might want to either wash this out if it's water-based paints, which they recommend using with this anyway, because otherwise you have to use thinners and stuff, and I wouldn't know what the rubber overmoldings etc. are going to look like when you use paint thinners on this to clean it. But anyhow, so that's just on the back there with one fastener, and you can already see the fan in there. So let's get into the meat of it. Oh, so you have to cut the little QR code sticker thingy to be able to split the clam, so we'll just do that quickly so that we can get into the meat of it. They know when the warranty is voided when that sticker isn't off. Right, let's have a look at the actual internals. As I was saying, two-piece system. So this is the off-the-shelf part from the Chinese manufacturer. PP again with glass fiber reinforced and a TPE overmolding. A very simple tool molding, not very stiff, not really torsionally stiff, very simple, not engineered by a traditional tool manufacturer. Even your average Einhell moldings these days look more robust than these. You can see where the true molding is. They made these little domes in the red plastic where they then inject the rubber, the black rubber or TPE overmolding through. Again, it's only got a few points here and there. It's done at a budget. Yeah, it'll suit its purpose, but don't expect premiums. Right, then the Einhell Ozito specific component. So this is PA6 with a 30% glass fiber reinforcement. That should be showing. So yeah, this is, and you can see instantly the amount of detail in this versus this. This little piece is more complex than this whole thing combined. So yeah, and it's super stiff. You can't do anything twisty wise with it. And again, this is made for the battery specifically, nice and snug fit. So yeah, that shows the difference really. Right, and then we got the fan in all its glory, which is literally just a fan and a little circuit board in there. So we're going to open her up, take the fan out, and then the rest of it, this is the little locking mechanism that we had a look at. Yeah. Lock and unlock, lock, unlock. So like I say, a little metal rod in the true axle there. Up, and then you twist it, and then it locks itself. So there's two little slots in the white nylon, it looks like nylon plastic there. And then you twist it, and the spring sort of pushes it down into the lock position. So you actively have to push it and twist it, and then it locks itself as a default into this preset. The trigger switch, very similar to the nailer. The metal, whoa, in my face, the metal rod that was there, which basically operates a little micro switch. Having a look at the wires, so the little trigger switch operates the microcontroller there, very similar to the one we've seen in the nail gun. I'll put the video up above. The positive from the battery terminal, plus, goes into the microcontroller. You make the circuit go, you make the circuit round by pressing the switch. And so the trigger switch, it's actually a braking circuit, so when you open it the current starts flowing, and then the switch, so it's basically a backwards operating micro switch. It's literally the diagrams on there, it just turns it on. The fan kicks in, a little capacitor there to make sure that the current draw is not too much for the battery, so it provides a slow ramp up of the fan. And then a neutral or a ground, it goes back to the minus of the battery. Now, according to the manufacturer, this will flatten a 4 amp battery in about 20 minutes, which gives you about 3 litres of paint to paint, which, yeah, it's quite quick. So, super simple like that. Nothing much to it. There's the other half of the battery footing, if you like. Nice and universal, so it could be used in different applications. The nice beefy battery terminal that we are used to from the Einhell brand, which is exactly the same. Nicely coded wires. Ying Ting wires to be precise, rated for 800 volts, sorry 600 volts and 105 degrees centigrade before it starts melting. So yeah, that's good quality stuff. Same on the black wires, by the way. And then a little capacitor, which we've got some markings on. Let's have a look. There we are. This is a Einhell microcontroller with the CE markings on there. No tooth markings, etc. So when the Einhell version of the same tool comes out, they probably changed the controlling circuit slightly, somewhat. So let's have a look inside by removing the screws. And have a look and see what makes this thing work. It's a super simple application of physics. Create a slight pressure difference over a narrow opening, as in, you know, the little flute, and you get suction. You create a little flute. No markings. Fairly cheap on the tool. On the tool, where there's some blemishes in the moulding there, so not very stiff. Little rubber gasket. It acts as a seal, because you want obviously the air coming through here, not through the side. And then that's all it is. This is just the plastic housing, a little bit of hot glue to hold the cables in place, and a very simple board with a tiny little motor, which the writing is very difficult to read. Let's have a look if we can get that to focus with the help of a little bit of light. Yeah, it's very difficult because of the shiny surfaces, but I'll put the down in the video text. Very small little motor. The actual fan is in the housing. It's a metal bladed fan, so it sucks the air from here, and then the air comes out of the openings. So there's openings there, all the way around, so it basically creates that swirling effect, and then the air blows through there and out the front of the tool, through the opening and out where the paint comes out with it. Very simple. There's no markings on the board as such. Oh, holding it upside down. It's nice and sturdy, nothing wrong. I mean, it's simple and it will work for a long time in its simplicity. Having a quick look to see if we can see what material the white plastic is made of. And it looks like PP with 30% glass fibre. Right, summary. So the off-the-shelf parts that are used, and you can find it on eBay and Amazon's, whatever, very similar looking devices like this, minus the bottom bit, which is specific for Einhell batteries or Ozito batteries, which is all part of the same company. This is all the same cheap, sort of almost DIY, not proper tool plastic. I mean, you can see it, it's a bit flimsy, it's not very stiff, you know, put them together, it sort of fits together, but yeah, look at the shut lines, it's not very pretty. But yeah, it's, I mean, this as well, if you drop it a few times too much, yeah, it might crack, it might break. So the fan itself, very simple, very straightforward, nothing too much that could go wrong with it. Brushed motor, we can see the two brushes. Yeah, off-the-shelf motor unit, very simple, nothing spectacular, but then again, nothing really that can go wrong with this. DIY hobbyist type of tool. For the more professional or frequent user, I'd consider something a little bit more premium. It's not that precise, so for a really good quality finish, which with painting or spray painting, it's all about the finish and the quality, and that can only happen when the tool is engineered well. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. That'll help me out. I mean, the more people subscribe, the more sense it makes for me to make these videos. If we want to go into more specific tools, etc., put them down in the comments. The more of you who subscribe will make financial sense in me purchasing these tools, because let's face it, they do cost quite a bit of money, and then we can tear them apart together, have a bit of fun. Thanks again for watching, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye now.